Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. The insanity continues. Okay, we have reasons that there may be a new low, and that comes from the tech sector, specifically the Mag 7. So I'm going to give you a little extra information here today on the Mag 7 ETF. So make sure you stick around for that. We're going to do our regular daily analysis all the way through. And at the end, we'll check out the Mag 7 just to confirm what we're talking about as we go through a lot of the information for today. So we're doing this intraday about 12:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube member. I like the intraday process here, first of all, so traders can get the information, and maybe if they see something new, they can change their position before a close or during price action, okay? And maybe hedge. And another thing is, there's a lot of traders or analysts, I should say, not traders necessarily, that base their videos off of others, and I don't really like that. This shows exactly what I'm looking for, how I'm looking for it, and why, and the indicators that I use for that. And I really think that's genuine, and I want to get that information out to you guys. So thanks for the support for the channel. It's 99 cents a month. It's not much to ask for this type of information. So let's do it. Let's jump into the charts. We have SPX on the daily time frame. We do the higher time frame analysis on the weekend. So make sure you stick around, hit that notification bell, and play this video at 1.25 speed or 1.5 speed so you can get more videos in, not just mine, more videos in a shorter amount of time. So what we're looking at right now is a possible reversal here, and I can draw another trend line. Let's see if this tags. So no, that doesn't really touch it. So what we're looking for is possibly a new low, not necessarily on the S&P, but I'll show you again what the Mag 7 has to offer. So we're kind of looking at this, and I have this trend line in here. I have this green box that's available here. I really could stretch that out to 4,800. I like the 4,750. I like that 4,700 volume shelf there, especially. So I'm going to keep this box where it is, but price doesn't have to make it down here. And price in the S&P can diverge from the rest of the market. Okay, what I showed in the Discord yesterday was a quick look at here the analog, and it's not going to look right directly on here. Let me pause the video, or I'll just do it with you so you can see how to do it. So if we bring out the gear and you go over to price access, you can turn off log there on Thinkorswim, and that's where we got one of our trend lines here. We tagged from the bottom to this bottom, and to that bottom we get a nice sharp move off of there. So the low can very well be in that. That would be one way to look at it. I rarely look at analog unless I'm looking for a bottom or a top. I will glance through it just to check things out. So bringing back on the traditional technical analysis here, this low was a really good low. So that's going to be where we want to see price break if you're bearish and moving into here. And I think it still has good potential to make a new low here. Now, structure wise, just a massive bounce. So I can't really fit it. There's no rule that says that wave 4, it didn't overlap wave 1 in a impulse wave. So I can still call this a wave 4 if we want to especially match it up with the tech market and the Mag 7. You'll see that. Or we can make this just an A, B, and then a C for our move here for a higher bounce overall. So I don't think this move is yet, but even if we make a higher low here and then a lower low in tech, that would be a divergence there, and we'd look for a bounce at that point. All right, so let's look at some of the indicators. We have our moving averages. We got above that 8 EMA close, but we're still trending lower on that 20. Learned my lesson here, where we even had a catalyst and price broke down from the 8 EMA and the 20 moving average. So we still need more proof to show that the bottom is in and that we're actually trending to the upside right now. We're breaking back down from that 8 EMA, so the momentum is down, and probability is lower prices at this point until otherwise shown. So that we have the McClellan oscillator. And again, all of these I'm going to go through really quick, and it's pretty much the same thing from the unconfirmed lows unconfirmed video. I want to see a positive divergence. I want to see a new low and a positive divergence here. So again, we might not get that, but I think it's highly probable that the Mag 7, a lot of those names make new lows. And we went through NVIDIA. I'll post that video up front, up top at the 6:30 mark here. I'll post that video up top. If you're interested in becoming an individual analysis member, it's $4.99 a month. So consider that option as well. No pun intended, OptionsTender. So I'm looking for positive divergence here, and I'm not going to raise all these up for you to see. We have the early buy signal with the slow stoke. And again, we have a downtrend line in this RSI. I want to see positive divergence in all or some of these indicators, and that the DMARC, just such huge moves. Maybe we're just starting off with a 1-2 here. You'll probably see price hold up on some of these retracement areas. If you're retracing for a 1-2 setup or an AB for a higher low, that's still obviously an option there for that to occur, especially after this huge bullish candle. We'll see if we get maybe an inside day here. With the inside day, that should give us some continuation to the upside or downside, and give us a little bit more confidence on which direction this move wants to go. Let's go to the awesome oscillator. Same thing. Want to see positive divergence. Let's go to SPY. And with the divergences on, we'll look at the money flow index. That's giving us positive divergence. Let's see if we can make a new high here on it. But in the meantime, we might make another either low or another positive divergence. We'll keep checking that out day by day. And we certainly got that buy signal on the RSI Bollinger Band setup. Deeply oversold underneath the Bollinger Band. Oversold conditions, that's a buy signal. You got your signal on that one. All right, let's check out the volume shelves here. So we made it back to that standard deviation from the one standard deviation from the point of control back at 411. Now we did not close, we did not move price through this gap here. If and when it does, it should be pretty darn quick into that 470 area. If for whatever reason price needs to go lower, then again, we have a full gap here where 555 will start another shelf. So we'll be looking to see if price holds there. If we do make new lows, I don't think we'll start to, unless we're really gapping on news. Don't think we should come much further than 470. We'll have positive divergence forming. We'll see what kind of price action we get into 470. LA oscillator, same thing. We'll look for positive divergence, saying that this whatever this is, a wave 4, I guess, or B wave, comes to an end into a lower price. Okay, let's change boards. There's our traditional look. That's our bounce area. Didn't quite get there. I'm hoping to get there for a nice scale into some buys. Now, I did put out our first in-out spread in the Discord. If you're not familiar with it, then I'll post it up top. It's a set it and forget it type play. Now, you take out tons of risk, so therefore you're going to take out tons of profit, right? So it's a very conservative play. For those of you who may not be able to watch charts all the time, maybe you have a small account, whatever your reason is, maybe you just want to grow your account slowly and surely, then that will be your type of play. And we put one on NVIDIA today, and that was on the put side because of our analysis that we have on NVIDIA possibly making new lows coming up. And if it doesn't, we didn't risk that much. That's the beauty of the trade. All right, so you see this is going to be a very important area here at 512, we'll call it. That again was our bounce zone in the past, and then it became resistance, and now it's becoming support. So I'm not going to go over to the retracement yet. I'm not looking for a bottom necessarily, but that's at 50% of that entire move that just happened the last 3 days. And so clearly you're going to get a reaction off the 50%. That's very typical. Now, again, these arrows are pointing. Do we test the bottom? Is it a move like this? Or even like this, where very, very sharp move, testing the lows? Or, I mean, this could still be your A wave. This move could be done. This could be your A wave, and all we're going to do is get that expanded flat B wave and then break out for the rest of this move here. So lots of things can happen here because of that extreme move. It's just so distorting. It's hard to call that a wave 4, but when I show you that Mag 7, you'll say, "Oh, okay, I get it now." Hopefully. All right, so time and price, we're getting into that time and price zone where we should see a bottom that goes into next Monday or Tuesday. So we'll see where that comes about. Now, we still have cycle lows coming. It hasn't even come in yet. The zone, we're not even in that zone yet until starting tomorrow. So that's another hint. Sure, we can make a higher low, but we do have a chance for risk lower. So here's, again, our Fibonacci zones are really good spots for bounces and for lows. We're going to keep this one here right now for the time being. But I'm telling you right now, I know a lot of people don't like technical analysis and stuff like that. And diagonal lines like this aren't my favorite anyway. But I'm telling you, if we spike lower to like 470 or so, I'm still going to leave this on the chart for that possible bullish scenario to play out. So is this ABC done? And really, we're just starting a correction that might expand to new lows while our wave 4s are going into wave 5s for some of the tech market. That's always a possibility. And so we could tag down a little bit lower, and then we can get a nice sharp move to the upside, even if it's just corrective rather than going to new highs. Let's go to the Qs. So again, in a downtrend here, and just breaking down from the 8 EMA and the 20, price has got to get above that 8 EMA and maybe even just start holding some of these levels. So does this level hold here? That's possible. But I would really like to see this scenario play out where we make a new low into this 400 and probably this trend line that is waiting below from 2008. So that would give us a beautiful setup to go long there. And again, I don't know how you want to count it. But we made a new high in the tech market. the Mag 7s made a lower high, and that was the high right here. So you can clearly see what's happening, and you'll see it even more in just a second. SMH, if this wants to make a new low, like I think NVIDIA wants to, then we have our lower, really good support zone, former resistance around 160 or so. And IWM, again, has that zone lower that we're talking about before. So you can see I'm clearly leaning, but we are very aware that we had a huge bullish candle and that things could have started to turn around. And so I'm not leaving that out of the situation, but the 8 EMA, the 20, all moving down still. Let's be very clear on momentum is against us. Same thing again and again. Could we just tag a new low? I think so. Okay, now for the VIX. We're talking about this level yesterday, and that was the 35 level. And I do believe I talked about it. I made 2 videos yesterday, so I'm not sure which one I talked about what necessarily. I had to delete the other one because it was there's such a massive move. But you see, I would argue that this is a consolidation, and we're probably going to make new highs here. And especially if this 35 level holds. But again, 8 EMA. It's pushing off. So let's go to, while we're on the daily, let's just do the Mag 7 now. And for those of you that just scrolled directly to the end, you'd probably be confused why I did this now. Oh, what did I do wrong? Oh, it's called the Mags. Sorry. Just the Mags. All right, so just looking offhand with a naked chart, we have the moving averages here, and we're pushing down. Looks like it's trying to hold this consolidation or this zone right here. We'll see if we can get back above it and start to break out. But right now we're just making lower highs, lower highs, lower high, lower high, lower high, and lower lows. Let's see if we can get one more low. This is how things looked to me earlier today. When I was checking it out, I'm like, oh, I missed this. So with these new highs here, we had a leading diagonal for wave 1, a wave 2, and then a nesting of a wave more wave 1s and 2s in there. But we're gonna stay in the daily time frame. And then we have 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and wave 5 of wave 3. And what makes this really, really, really work out is we took the top of wave 2, where wave 2 completed. And so this is all of wave 3. And our retracements go to the 3, 8, 2. There's no denying that. And I'll clear all these up so you can see exactly what I'm talking about if you don't do these Fibonacci's often. Get rid of all those. Change it red for resistance. That's the 382. That's all price did in those 3 massive days, is bring us to the 20 moving average and the 382. It's also the breakdown zone of where the liberation day happened. That was right up here where it closed. Next day, gap down underneath. So this is very, very telling to me. So if price gets above 45.88 here and the 20 moving average, sure, you're going to have some resistances on the way up. But if it does get above here, then you can start to say, hey, this is wrong. So this 382 is going to be very, very important. I'm going to set a alert here for the magnificent 7. Wow. Magnificent 7 stocks. So I'm starting to use this ETF as long as these are the leaders in the market. Now we do have, we had CPI today, clearly looking negative. We have PMI tomorrow morning before the bell. And so that may be another catalyst to the downside. Friday should be very telling. If Friday is bullish and gets above this 382 at the 45.88, then we can start changing our mind frame on what's going on with the market, specifically the tech market. And if it's bearish on Friday, we should see a nice big continuation move to the downside. And we'll probably see the same thing on Monday. Monday should be a nice continuation of Friday. It's very typical for that to happen, at least. And will we see wave 5 come into here into turnaround Tuesday? And that could be our low for quite some time. All right. So if we get down to new lows here, that's when we have to really start scaling into some of those in-out spreads. We're going to get another volatility crush. Those spreads will protect you in time, in price, in Vega, the vol crush, all sorts of things. Make sure you check out that in-out spread. All right, so let's go around SPY. 65. Traditional look. All right, so we broke out from the smaller wedge here. And so far, just a back test. Now it's very, very steep. So when you have steep supports and breakouts here, it's not unheard of just to break down from them. And then you start drawing new trend lines from higher points. So you can start that now, or you can keep it here until you make a new low, if we even make a new low for now. So this pivot from 2008, I believe, touched some highs in the past year. So I left this pivot on. You can see that price does respect it. It played as a bounce, where we got that little bounce inside of there, that 100-point little bounce. Intraday, and then we had resistance and gapped over, so it seemed important, broke down from it, broke back, so we're trading around it. So it's just a pivot, in my opinion, and I think it's gonna break that pivot there. Not super strong, price is clearly trading around it, and again, we'll see what happens next. So we began the week like this into the options expected move, ended up on the upper end. Will we end up back on the lower end of the options expected move? That's insanity. I'm not even sure I've seen that before, but we'll keep an eye. All right. So again, on these MACDs, all of these, we're seeing some headwind on that. So we're headed lower on any bullish move. We're seeing some headwind. We're oscillating to the lower end. We were overbought here. Overbought here on RSI. So I do suspect we'll eventually see some positive divergence. We'll keep an eye on that. We might even make a new low here. Who knows? But I would like to see some positive divergence there with eking out a new low in price. DMARC, anything to see here? Nope, just starting to count over. 1, 2, 3. Awesome oscillator. Cycled up. Now do we get this whipsaw and head back lower and maybe make some sort of positive divergence? Haven't done it yet. Leaving those markers there. Bollinger Bands got the buy signal. It didn't tap it here, but yeah, it was technically in that 30 zone, oversold. That was a buy setup. Made it all the way back to the top here. That was a sell setup. We did not take that sell. I mean, we gapped under it. We took NVIDIA, so technically we're in that area. So that sell signal outside the Bollinger Band, overbought. It worked once again. All right, volume shelf, same thing. Same thing. We're looking for a possible new low here in any of this zone here. So 475 would be the middle of that zone. Elliott oscillator again is cycling up. Whipsaw here. Do we make a higher low with a lower low in price? That's what the big question is. And I think the Mag 7 has that possibility. This could be making a higher low here. We'll see. Just make sure you add that Mag 7 on the Mags, MAGS, onto your ticker. If it gets above what we were just talking about, that 382, then that will be a very bad sign. So this move here is straight down. What this could be is really just a 1. If we make a lower high after this move, make a lower high, I think this will just start to crumble. Here's our Elliott wave look. So I was giving the example, and wow, okay, so checking this out here, this might make more sense, and I'm glad we're looking at this through. Like I said, when I make these videos, I don't go through all this stuff first and then present it to you. I like to do a lot of this by itself. So here is what we talked about yesterday, and I think this is what's playing out. Now, wave 3 might not be longer than wave 1 here. So what we talked about yesterday was this being an A, a B, and a C. All right. And what we warned about was this is a nice clear 5-wave move down. Can this be just a wave 1? All right. Can it be just a wave 1? This is called an extension when this happens. We had a deep reversal into the 62% retracement. And now we should see a wave 3, 4, and 5. Now they can be a lot smaller than this wave 1, just as long as wave 3 is not the shortest. That's the only rule against that. So let's see where price ends up. Let's see if this plays out the way it looks now. If this is the case, this should be an easy way to play this. All right. So right now, I'm looking at this as being a wave 1, and this new wave is going to get our wave 3, 4, and 5 down to complete A and C. Okay, sometime next week it looks like now, because time is running out. So maybe into turnaround Tuesday or sometime later in the week. We actually have out to the middle to end of April for a low to come in. So how do we know when this is not the case? Okay, this 62% retracement from here, meaning a 1-2 setup. If you're not familiar with the 1-2 setup, go down to the description, go on the tutorials. There's a 1-2 setup in there into wave 3. This price should not get back above the 540. Okay, now if this is just an ABC for bigger ABC wants to go deeper, it looks awkward, but there's nothing against the rules that can't go up to the 786. Once you get above the 786, that's getting out of hand, and that no longer should be the case where this is a 1-2 setup anymore. Okay, so we can still get a little bit of a pullback here and continue the movement lower. But this seems to be the wave count that we're gonna look at being the primary situation at this point. Such large moves. I think we're gonna get a new low here at this point. Looking at this chart, I believe we're gonna get an extension off of this one, and then AB is still in. We're just looking for a 5-wave move on a larger degree down to NC and start A. Well, end A. The end of this is all an A wave at that point. And then we'll look for a major correction to the upside. Awesome. I'm glad we went through this together. Let's just go through the cues. So same thing. Let's see if I didn't work on this, so this might be a little messy. Or maybe I did put this on. Yeah, I did. So I put this on yesterday. And again, we had a 1, 2, 3 right here. 4. When we get that 100-point bounce intraday, for all those people that said we didn't get a bounce. Wow, I'm just holding on to that situation, aren't I? Okay, so now we're looking at this all being a wave 1, and it came back to our 62% retracement yesterday and gap down after it. So we have our 2 in. We're looking for wave 3, 4, and 5 if we want to make this look just like the rest of the markets. All right, and again, the price action should not get back above this 458, or else probability just starts to change a bit. And again, cycle lows are coming in. So should we get it up to the 786, it closes the gap, and it doesn't change a whole lot, but it would say, all right, this is looking a little bit stronger than typical. So I do think we can get a little bounce in today, or gap up tomorrow, and then really crap out for Friday. But if we have a strong Friday, you guys, then that should start to kind of skew things to the other way. That maybe we're not going to get our lows. We'll see. SMH. All right, SMH came into resistance here, broke down from it, closed that gap, and I did not measure what's going on here, but if we want this to match everything that's happening with NVIDIA, then we're looking at a 1, 2 for leading diagonal, right? And then we have a 1, 2, 3. So 3 wave moves in all these. We have a 1, 2. We ended wave 3, and we're just getting up to wave 4 and wave 5. So at this point, wave 1, let's draw a channel. Let's clean this up. I think that we can now say if wave 3 is in, see how this channel works. From the bottom of wave 1 to wave 3, and the top of wave 2 into wave 4. That would be typical. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's good enough right there. Okay. So now we can see if wave 5 goes down to the bottom of the channel, or maybe one of our supports that we talked about in the daily time frame. And then if we're looking at retracements, now we can go to top of wave 3 to the bottom of wave 3. And again, we only made it up to the 382 retracement. I know there's a spike there. We didn't close. We got right back above it. That's a 382 with volatility. That's very acceptable. That's a 382 denial right there. To me, that says wave 4. It shouts out, this is all just a wave 4, big one. And we'd make new lows for the 5-wave move. And we're just getting started with this first impulse wave. Should get a little bit of a bounce and lower. So these are all starting to come together unless something really skews what we're looking for. IWM, again, should make those new lows. Pointed out down here, that's how I used to diagram and make support and resistances. So maybe we come down to that old monthly support there. DIA, the diamonds. Came back, tested this channel, rejected off of it, denied. And so now if we're looking at this and we make a new low, this can be a 1 expanded flat for 2, and then all of this wave 3, and we're just getting a wave 4 here. So does this fit? Well, it does. It fits that bear flag. That's funny. A really big spike above it, overthrow, and then is back in that bear flag. Wow. And this is all clustered up here. So those are some of our old, I'm going to leave those alone. Let's just go from the top of potential wave, the top of 3 to the bottom of 3. And once again, that's how it looks. It looks like we're getting above there, almost tagged the 50%, and then gaps down back up below the 382, right where it belongs, all right? Rejecting off the 382. We'll see if this works out the way we think. VIX. VIX is holding up very well. Closed this gap, no longer an island gap. And we talked about the formation that was happening here in the VIX. So it's an expanding consolidation here. So I do think, again, maybe we drop a little bit lower, but then I think we go higher. We make some new highs here and break out of this consolidation. Somebody asked me in the Discord, do we get to 100? It's possible we can really spike up to 100 this time. I don't really think so yet, but we do. After we get our major correction and then the next move lower for the market and higher for the VIX, I think it will definitely spike over that 100. So, looking for new highs in the VIX. There we go, you guys. Mag 7, the Mags ETF. We get above 45.88, then we have to start thinking about something else is occurring. Thanks for joining us here at OptionsTender. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll talk to you tomorrow.